Energy like out there? It seemed like you guys were playing it rough. It was kind of not a lot of whistles played. Was it a little playoff style a little bit out there?
Yeah, definitely like playoff type atmosphere. We know how much this game means. They know how much it meant. So it was good to come out with the win. But also, it's always fun playing at that level. That was crazy. Let's do something. Finish the game already. That was nuts. But we got through it.
Kurt mentioned that he talked to you guys yesterday about the urgency, about these are all big games now, starting with this one. I mean, you guys have done it in the past, but how much confidence do you feel doing it again, summoning this kind of energy when you know you had to?
Yeah, we know what it takes. We understand. I think we got a good balance on our team. Guys who need to bring energy and are bringing that energy. It was great for. Sometimes you kind of go in these situations and it's like, do you talk about it? Does it add more pressure? Do you kind of just and I thought it was amazing for Steve to come in like, listen, this is a big game. This is a playoff game, and we need to go out here with that type of focus and win it. And, guys were locked in and got the job done.
You mentioned you're back in kind of your position in a couple of weeks now. How concerned are you about the load ahead? I mean, there's obviously a lot at stake in this however many games, and that physically, the pack is ready for it.
Yeah, I think, I always tell y'all I got the utmost confidence in our training staff. I don't think I could be in a place with better, and so knowing that I trust them and, they get me to a place where I'm ready to go. And, today was good. It was really good. I think not playing in Dallas, as much as that sucked, was the right thing to do because, leading up to that, I just kept getting to a point to where I could play, and then afterwards the next day I can't. I mean, not like I physically couldn't do it. I could go shoot, but I'd be overcompensating, trying to get back, feeling good, and then we got a game the next day, so it was good for me to kind of, it gave me an extra couple days of rest and allowed me to actually turn the corner. I was kind of having some pain and just getting through it and getting to a space where I can go. And today I had no pain, and so I think just trusting in our training staff and knowing they understand everything about the body that one can understand and really depending and, on their expertise. And they've been great and have never given me any reason not to trust anything that they say.
Where's your trust level of Trace as your backup? And on certain nights, I'm sure you can maybe kind of ease your minutes load.
I have a lot of trust in Trace. Trace is a lot like me coming in. He's 23 years old in his rookie year. So you've played in big games. You've played, and for Trace, you've played in big games where you had to be the man, and shoulder the load, scoring, rebounding, carrying the team, leading the team. And so I have no doubt that he's ready for the stage that that he's been on as of late, and what's ahead. His maturity. He's not your average rookie when it comes to maturity standpoint. He knows more. He knows his role. He excels in his role. So I got the utmost confidence in Trace, and nice that he can lower my minutes, and then also knowing we still got Loon. And Loon is ready to go at all times, and also Dario. So I got nothing but confidence in those guys.
Draymond, with all that you guys have accomplished, despite the roadblocks this season, is there a sense that you get into the playoffs, nobody can beat you guys?
Absolutely. That's always, how we go into playoffs feeling. Knowing that anytime we get in, we got a chance, and so. The goal is for us, obviously, you don't want to be in the play-in. If we are, you just got to go win a game or two, which we've been in those positions before where you need to win a game or two to close a series, to get back in a series, or whatever it is. So I know, we all know that if we get in, do our jobs this last 3.5 weeks, give ourselves a chance. Like our odds against anybody.
I'm sure you've noticed the trend in points going down, foul calls going down. Does that suit you? Probably suits you. Does it suit this team maybe a little bit that, a little more is allowed out there? Certainly seemed like tonight that there was a little more allowed, a little more play allowed.
Yeah, I think that's great. I always enjoy that time of year where, you're not getting the ticky-tack fouls. You got to play through some contact. Because we are a team, we don't sell calls. You can't get Steph to sell a call if his life depended on it. Klay's not going to sell a call, And so we are a team that naturally plays through that, and we've always said you don't want to learn and practice flopping, because all of a sudden you get to playoffs and you're doing what you've been practicing. They don't call it. Those are turnovers, and we feasted on teams that does that over the years. So we don't want to be that team. We take pride in playing through the contact and just getting the job done. So I think it's great for us.
I think you probably threw 4 or 5 or maybe more lobs to Kuminga and maybe one to Trace. Was that just, obviously no AD, but was that just part of what was there? What was your mindset throwing all those lobs?
Yeah, we always talk to those guys about cutting out of the corners when ball gets to the pocket, and they're doing a great job of it. There wasn't one time where I got the ball and there was an opportunity to cut, and Wiggs or JK didn't cut, and you got those guys cutting. Leave it up to them. You rely on their athleticism. They're great receivers, as I call them. They go up and get the pass, and just trust them. But, it all starts with Steph drawing the attention that he draws, which opened the pocket up and allowed me to make those plays.
The lob to JK from half court, how much trust does that show in him that you're going to let that one fly?
Yeah. It's funny. I was telling AV on the bench. AV was like, that was one of the ones like, no, yes. And I was like, listen, AV, he's never given me a reason not to throw the ball. It's one thing I hate. It's like every now and then you throw a lob, it's a very bang play. Every now and then you throw it might be way too high. And I just hate when a guy won't jump, because then it looks even crazier. If you jump and you don't get it, then it just goes over your hand, and it's like, all right, a little too high. But if I throw it high as hell and you don't jump, then I just look crazy. And JK has never done that to me. And so I have no reason not to trust that he's going to try to go get it. And if I can put it somewhere in the area, near the rim, I know what he's capable of doing. So I got nothing but trust in him, and I know he's going to attempt to go get it. And as long as he attempts to go get it, I trust that I'll put it on the money more often than I won't.
Trey, you got forward 8 minutes, right away. Steve said he feels like he's kind of leaning into that bench score role. Have you seen him?
He's definitely leaning into it. He's enjoying it too. He comes like, Dre, man, this is nice. I think that's great for this team, but it also shows his maturity. You go so long starting. He's been starting since halfway through his rookie season, and had a resume that he has, build up an organization like he has, and then you're asked to take on a bench role. There's not many people that know how that feels, but there's a bunch of people that wants to judge it. And I felt like early on he was too worried about how people was judging it, and now he don't care. And once he stopped caring, his game did what we know Klay Thompson is capable of doing. So I think it shows incredible maturity in Klay, and want to extend this as long as we can. And I said, this is our baby. We've built this thing up from the ground up, and for him to accept the role, but not only accept the role, but pour into the young guys like he's been pouring into the young guys since he accepted the role, I think has been huge. And when you got Klay Thompson feeding you confidence as a young guy, that takes you through the roof. And, it's allowing these young guys to play at the level that they're playing.
Sometimes I don't feel like you get the credit you deserve, especially what you bring offensively. I was learning a lot of you guys' plays. A lot of your stuff is more so off of read and react, and you bring that element to the table. What can you say to a lot of players out there with learning an IQ, and what can you tell your younger self too as well with coming in here? Was there anything that you would change too with things that you would learn coming into the NBA?
I think having an IQ, a basketball IQ, is extremely important, because when a guy doesn't, it's glaringly noticeable. And so this is a gift of mine. It's something that my uncle taught me the game as a kid, to think the game, not just go out there and play the game and try to play off skill and athleticism, but actually think the game, see the floor, and I'm forever grateful for that. I have the opportunity to play with the 2 greatest shooters to ever play. That opens up the floor in a way that I could only dream of as playing the style of basketball that I like to play as a playmaker. When you got two guys like Steph and Klay, and I've had the honor of playing with those two guys my entire career, you learn how to play with them, you learn how to play off them, you learn how to use them to get other guys things, and you know, it's been great for me. And I think, you know, something that I would tell my younger self is just like, you know, to always remain confident. You know, there's times in my career where I've lost confidence in myself and my game, and like, yeah, I know what I'm capable of, you know, but, you know, you get those times where it's not quite going your way and you start to reel a little bit. So I would just tell, you know, my younger self, like, no matter what, you know, the time you put in, always be confident in that.